I now call upon the representative of ACSILs.
はい、Ufugusuku to Ganabira. It's with great sadness and rage that I address you all again about sexual violence against Ryukyu and women, which is perpetrated largely by American military personnel who are stationed in our islands. Since Wednesday, we've been processing the news that 3 more women were sexually assaulted and/or battered by 2 Marines earlier in the year. According to reports, one of these women was beaten for trying to assist the woman who was being sexually assaulted. It's unfortunate that in its periodic review of Japan last year, that CEDAW did not address the violence against women in the Ryukyus through the lens of CEDAW General Recommendation 39, instead choosing to articulate this historical trend as, quote, gender-based violence against women committed by a United States military personnel on Okinawa military bases. This is somewhat true, but not limited to on-base interactions. The Osaka High Court stated in 2023 that we are an indigenous people. However, the government of Japan still maintains that we are not. And this abstention from CEDAW is exactly in line with the government's position. Violence against Ryukyu and women is directly related to the military bases in our islands, of which we have 32 U.S. military bases alone. But it's largely been addressed as an unfortunate stressor of the Japan-American relationship and does not consider reparations for survivors of these heinous crimes. Let me be clear, so many U.S. bases, 70.4% of all those in Japan are in Ryukyu because Japan does not want this to happen to Japanese women. Time is always of the essence when dealing with the U.S. military because these are men who are redeployed periodically, which means that they move out of Japanese jurisdiction entirely. These 2 most recent incidents occurred in January and in March. Currently, according to the Status of Forces Agreement between Japan and the U.S., police cannot even interrogate them because they are on base. Police can request base access and then ask them for a voluntary meeting, which they can decline. These are not adequate avenues to effectuate any form of justice, let alone reparations. As always, we call on U.S. bases to get out of Ryukyu. We also call, that's not very timely. We also call on them to be removed from other islands where they're overproportionate. We call on the government of Japan to finally ratify the optional protocol to CEDAW and allow a CEDAW inquiry procedure specifically for violence against indigenous Ryukyu women. We also ask that the special rapporteur immediately reach out to both the United States and Japan in the same inquiry letter, so we can get around this old question of whose jurisdiction is it anyways by engaging with both countries in tandem.
I thank the representative of ACSILs for their statement.